What did ancient humans do all day? A documentary narrative. A hand reaches into the grass. Not carefully. Not curiously. Desperately. Its fingers search between stalks of dry vegetation, feeling for something almost invisible. A seed. A root. Anything. The hand belongs to a woman. She has been walking since sunrise. The sun is now high overhead. She has found almost nothing. Around her, the landscape appears peaceful. The wind moves through the grass. Birds call from distant trees. Insects hum beneath the heat. To modernize, it looks beautiful. To her, it is a calculation. Every bush is a possibility. Every shadow hides uncertainty. Every hour matters. Because hunger is approaching. Not starvation. Something more familiar. The quiet, persistent pressure that sits behind every decision. The feeling that tomorrow's food has not yet been found. Most people imagine ancient humans living dramatic lives. Constant battles. Constant danger. Constant excitement. That is not what happened. The greatest challenge of prehistoric life was not fighting. It was existing. Day after day. Year after year. For hundreds of thousands of years. Human history is often told through moments. The invention of fire. The first cities. The rise of kings. The construction of monuments. But moments are not lives. Lives are made from ordinary days. And for nearly all of human existence, ordinary days looked nothing like ours. The average person today can obtain enough calories to survive with a few minutes of effort. A short walk to a store, a food delivery, a refrigerator. Ancient humans inhabited a completely different reality. Food was not a product. It was an event. And events could fail. Researchers studying modern hunter-gatherer societies noticed something unexpected. Many groups do not spend every waking moment searching for food. This surprised early observers. The common assumption was simple. Primitive life must have been endless labor. Instead, the evidence suggested something stranger. Humans evolved not as tireless workers, but as extraordinarily efficient opportunists. When food was available, they gathered it. When conditions were favorable, they hunted. When resources disappeared, they moved. Nature dictated the schedule. Not clocks. Not employers. Not deadlines. The day was not divided into hours. It was divided into opportunities. A rustling sound in distant bushes. Clouds gathering on the horizon. Animal tracks pressed into mud. The flowering of a particular plant. The migration of a herd. The entire environment functioned as a living calendar. And ancient humans learned to read it with astonishing precision. Most modern people cannot identify 10 local plants. Ancient humans often recognized hundreds. Not just their names. Their seasons. Their uses. Their dangers. Their locations. Their relationships to weather patterns. The landscape was not scenery. It was information. Every hill contained memory. Every river contained knowledge. Every tree held possibility. To survive, the human brain became a prediction machine. Researchers believe much of our intelligence emerged from this pressure. Not mathematics. Not literature. Not technology. Prediction. Where will food appear? When will animals migrate? Which plants are safe? Which sounds signal danger? Who can be trusted? Who cannot? Long before humans built civilizations, they were solving probability problems. Every day. For their entire lives. And failure carried consequences modern people rarely experience. A wrong prediction today might mean hunger tomorrow. A wrong prediction tomorrow might mean death next month. This produced something remarkable. Ancient humans were not simply living in nature. They were psychologically fused with it. The boundary between person and environment was thinner than we can easily imagine. Today, many people spend entire days interacting with symbols. Screens. Documents. Numbers. Messages. Ancient humans interacted with reality directly. The
weather touched them. The ground touched them. The animals touched them. The seasons touched them. There was no buffer. No insulation. No separation. And because of this, every ordinary day carried an intensity we have largely forgotten. Imagine waking before dawn. No alarm clock. No artificial light. Only darkness. A darkness so complete it feels physical. The fire has nearly died. The air is cold. Somewhere beyond the edge of visibility, predators are moving through the night. Not mythical monsters. Real ones. Silent ones. Hungry ones. The darkness ancient humans experienced was not the darkness we know. Today cities glow. Roads shine. Windows illuminate the night. True darkness has become rare. For most of human history, darkness remained unconquered, and the human brain evolved inside it. This may explain something strange. Researchers have discovered that many common human fears are surprisingly ancient. Fear of snakes, fear of heights, fear of isolation, fear of unseen movement. These fears often emerge automatically, even before conscious thought, as though millions of years of experience remain hidden beneath the surface. Waiting, watching. Ancient humans carried those instincts every day. Not occasionally, not during emergencies. Every day. Yet fear alone cannot explain prehistoric life, because something equally important happened around those fires. People talked. This is where the story becomes unexpected. For all the dangers of ancient existence, humans were never merely surviving. They were storytelling. Long before writing existed, stories moved down generations like invisible inheritance. A hunting lesson became a myth. A warning became a legend. A memory became a tradition. Information transformed into narrative, and narrative transformed into culture. The fire illuminated more than faces. It illuminated imagination. Scientists still debate exactly when language became fully modern. But whenever it happened, reality changed forever. Because a human being gained the ability to place another world inside another mind. A hunter could describe tomorrow. A mother could describe the past. An elder could describe things no one present had ever seen. For the first time, knowledge could travel without moving. And suddenly, survival was no longer purely biological. It became collective. The smartest individual was not necessarily the one who lived longest. The groups that shared knowledge most effectively gained the advantage. Humanity's greatest weapon was never claws. Never speed. Never strength. It was accumulated memory. A memory stored not in books, but in people. And that fragile system carried our species across continents, across deserts, across ice ages, across impossible distances. Yet beneath every achievement remained a haunting truth. Tomorrow was never guaranteed. Because nature was not designed for human comfort. And nature was about to reveal just how fragile the human story really was.